Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love Island UK Season 8, Episode 21. Day 21 in the house, Chris. Now, where would you like to start today?
Well, Dave, I'm going to save my favourite bit of the episode. So we've got this Tasha, Andrew, Charlie potential trilogy, because I've got some lovely words to be said after that, Dave. So we start off with this with Tasha, and she's getting upset. She pulls Dami and Luca, and then we get the tears. Now, for me, I think she's completely in the wrong, and she's not in the wrong in the context of the show. She can go after whoever she wants. If she's not after Andrew, fucking fair fucks to you. But every time we've talked about it, exhausted it, she looks for someone better. And then when it doesn't work out for her, she comes back. She had a face like a pan of piss when Charlie didn't pick her, picked Ekin-Su the other night. She's now pissed off that he hasn't picked her. She doesn't really want Andrew. Instead of just saying to him, we're off. She's got to stay with him because she could be potentially kicking herself off the show. So I found it all ridiculous what she was going on about tonight, and then tears and everything. So I can't back her up at all, Dave, on any of this. I think she was in the wrong, and she dealt with it completely wrong.
I'm trying really hard to mentally challenge myself, because in my gut, she's really pissing me off. She's doing my head in. But I keep remembering how young she is, and I do think it's a maturity thing. But what I don't like is how she's making everything just about her. And, you know, the lads are giving Andrew a pep talk. It's like, look, just give her a space, like steer clear of her, you know, do your own thing today. And then he fucking wanders over. You're all right. She basically tells him to fuck off. And then he's like, right, okay. And then gives her a little kiss on the head. I'm like, Andrew, for fuck's sake. You know, I don't see in this scenario what Andrew's done wrong and why she's desperate, like, to make him feel like he's the problem. So I that's what's really hitting a nerve for me is how I don't think she's doing it on purpose, but her actions are making him feel like he's the problem. And I don't think that the other thing I don't like is how she makes everything extreme and exaggerated. So when she's talking to Luca and Dami, it's like, oh, you're just saying I don't give a shit about Andrew. No one's saying that. No one's saying that. Everyone's saying, though, that you're giving off Andrew the signals that you're all in, and then you've got Google eyes for anyone new who shows you attention. That's the disconnect there. No one's saying that you just don't give a shit, but she has to make it extreme to try and make her argument seem to have more weight. So, yeah, it dominated that early part of the episode, didn't it? And I did find it really frustrating. And like I say, I just wish Andrew would actually take a step back. And if she really decides that he's the one, then, you know, she'll decide that. But she was trying to say, you know, on the outside, you know, she's basically saying she self-sabotages.
Yes.
But I don't know. I don't know if I fully buy it. For me, she wasn't self-sabotaging. She just got called out because she was keeping her options open a bit too much from the perspective of the other people in the villa. So it's a tough one. Andrew will hear that and he'll go, all right, I totally get that. You self-sabotage. So, that explains everything. Right, I'm fully back in now. But I don't think that is the problem. I think she's not all in. She doesn't quite know what's missing, but something is. And so, yeah, I don't see any future with them. She'll probably ride this out for a bit longer while on the side, sneakily, you know, having this chat. You know, Chugs' dad was basically saying to keep it on the down low, wasn't he? These kind of conversations and everything. So, you know, I just think, yeah, I found that whole first bit very, very frustrating. But, you know, I was all in, Chris, to be honest.
Yeah, you know what, Dave? I'm with you. Andrew telling the lads, give me distance. I'm going to leave her be today. I'm just going to let her do her thing. If she wants to speak to me, and like you say, 2 minutes later, you're all right, do you want to chat? And then Lucas said, then he goes, I thought he just said he wasn't going to fucking mind her.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I think that, because what it does for me is it lets Tasha know that Andrew will just come running all the time. And instead of him having a bit of something about himself and having a bit of bollocks and sort of going, you do your thing. I mean, if you need me, you know my stance. I want to be in the relationship. But it makes it easy for Tasha then to justify what she's doing. And like I say, I've got no problem with her exploring other relationships. But then don't start saying you're all in on this guy when it all falls apart or when it comes to the recoupling, Dave. She's done quite well. She's a bit of a silent assassin. But I'll be honest, Dave, I don't give a fuck about them as a couple. I think they're one of the shittiest couples in the villa, to be honest. But it dominated, like you said, that first 20 minutes. I was like, oh, fucking hell, we need to go through all this shit. Casa Amor, her head will completely turn, 100%. Andrews might do the same, Dave. You might think, fuck it, what am I bothering? He might do that because no other girl's shown any interest in him. So Tasha's the only one, really, by proxy, they ended up together. And that's why he's sticking with her, I think.
I mean, Ekin Sue showed him a bit of attention, didn't she?
Yeah,
I mean, she showed everyone attention, but he was included, so he could have explored that a bit more. So, yeah, it's not like he's not had no options. That's a great bit of English, that. But yeah, Tasha's definitely had more options, but she hasn't been on a date where she hasn't really enjoyed it, if you know what I mean. Just been like, Andrew who?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't really care about him either, and I think it's because we're not invested. We do think there is something missing there, or else she wouldn't be keeping her options quite so open. And it is such a fine line, isn't it? It's no good when you go in and then they're completely closed off and don't want to talk to anyone else, and then it all falls apart. But yeah, it's just a funny one. But I think I am enjoying that drama. I can't say I don't care about them at all. I am interested in where this goes.
Well, David. So today I saw the first look come up, and I believe he said there is a 1% chance of Davide and Ekin-Su getting back together, as did a lot of people calling out the reality radar, Dave. And what do we see? Them sat together, them having a little chat about the possibility of being back together. I thought, I cannot wait for this. I'm thinking I'm going to get all my spoons out tonight because everyone's going to be eating humble pie. Dave, I'm telling you, it's happening, my friend, whether you like it or not. Terence on Twitter said this could be the greatest reality radar prediction. We've had people all over Discord, Facebook, saying, Chris, you could actually be correct on this one. And Dave, I'm sat here, I'm waiting for the apology. Now, give it me. I'm fine. I'm sat here smugly. I'm ready for you to accept that you may have been wrong, my friend. So go on. I'll give you the platform.
You know what, Chris? My favourite date on this whole programme has been India and Dami.
Fuck off!
I thought the date went really, really well. And so they both described it as their best date ever. So yeah, brilliant. Loved it. No. You know what? When that first look came up, I bet you were fumbling your fucking phone to try and type as quick as possible. Chris, if I had the opportunity to adjust my 1% estimate, I'm not taking it. I still Ekin-Su, right? She's in the diary room, and she's like, "Oh yeah, there is a bit of chemistry there." Fucking where Davide is lying back. He's not having anything. She's broken his trust. I don't think he's having anything, but Ekin-Su is playing up to the cameras 100%. And Amber, I don't know if you had a chance to watch After Sun After. I think Amber was asked who's playing a game in there. She was like, Ekin-Su. She came in, she seemed to be authentic, and then, she seems to not be. So for me, there's still nothing there. There's not 0%, But yeah, I'm sticking by my 1%. But I have noticed, like, there is a few. There's camps developing now. There's more than one supporter now. I noticed.
The thing was, though, you're right. I was fucking buzzing. I was running around my living room going, yes, fucking, and Joe Russell. I went on the Twitter tonight and I sent a message. I put Joe a little tweet saying, hello there, little Grogu going, hello there, with hashtag the reality radar is always right. Because he even says, though, Dave, to Charlie, I could have her whenever I want. She'd said the same as well. I think she'd said it to Jay or whoever, she could have him. So there's still something there, Dave. I think with her, he rejected her. I don't think she's been rejected a lot in her life. She's a good looking girl and that. I think it's more the chase for her. I think, hang on a minute, what's going on? Plus, Charlie's dull as fucking dishwater. I mean, I can't even word it.
Tasha doesn't think so.
No, Tasha doesn't. No, but I can't word it correctly. But due to the way he's got his body, and the body he's got, which is phenomenal, it's done him no favours, Dave, on his face, if that makes sense. And I'm saying this for someone who's just been called, going from Patrick Swayze to fucking Gordon Ramsay recently, someone's called me. So I don't think I told that story on here, did I? But anyway, did I say it on here? I thought it was on the VHS. But anyway, yeah, I can't say anything. It might be the VHS, but
I thought it was here.
Yeah, anyway, let's not talk about that, Dave. So, but
I don't know. I think he looks good for a 4-year-old.
He looks better than me and you. Yeah, it does. Body's phenomenal, but he just looks really old.
Yeah.
I think he looks out of place, and that's horrible to say that because nobody's perfect. You know what I mean? I can't say anything about that, but he looks very. I don't think he's a good-looking guy, if that makes sense, and that's fucking terrible to say about someone, but I just don't think if I looked at him, I think he's not good looking. You look at Davide or like Jay's not a bad looking lad. Luca, some of the lads are good looking. Dami's a good looking guy. You know what I mean? So you've got these guys you can see like they are good looking people. And with the girls, you can say, but with him, I just don't think he is. I think he just looks completely different to what they are in Love Island, which isn't a bad thing. And he might have a great personality, but everything he said so far to me, he's just boring as fuck, if I'm being honest, Dave. I don't see what they all like.
It is boring. I think that's fair. I do think he is a good looking bloke. I agree. I think he looks older. I think it's those extra vitamins, like you say, that he's been taking that possibly give him that older look. But I don't see that he's got any chat whatsoever. So, yeah, let's see where it goes. I just think for Davide, the door is closed. Now, 1% I'll give you is basically if there's no one getting kicked out on a recoupling and Ekinsu's the last one or Davide's the last one and they have to pick, then they could end up in this kind of couple. But they're not going to end up like a romantic couple. I'm convinced. And if it is, it's like that kid when you're playing basketball who just chucks it from the back of the court and then a 1 in a million shot just fucking lands right in the basket.
We'll see, Dave. We will see. As long as they get back together, I am claiming that as a victory. Whatever happens, that is a victory.
Oh, it would be. I still just think what you saw tonight, I don't know why you would think, they're definitely back on. Because I just don't think Davide's into it. And I think Ekinsu's deluded. You know, that conversation, how can you look at that and think, Davide's, he's softened his position a bit. I didn't see any of that. The only person who thinks that, two
Me.
people, Ekinsu and you.
I have to believe, Dave. I have to believe. But I'm going to say now, and a lot of people have said this, we talked about this, I do think the start of the show is not solidified some of the couples at all. But my prediction and my favourites to win, and I want them to win, Dave, at this point, is Dami and India. I think they're the only one. I know we got that little thing at the end with Jackson Page, and I want to talk about that actually, but I do think Dami and India are my favourites now. I want them to win, Dave. I think they've got a genuine connection. The date was nice. I don't know what you think on that, but the Jackson Page thing I want to talk about briefly as well.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't looked at any odds or anything, but I was going to say Andia, Dami and India. Yeah, brilliant date. They're clearly into each other, and they both went off, didn't they? India speaks to the girls, Dami speaks to the boys. They're both sort of like, one of the best dates I've ever been on, and I don't think my head will be turned now. I think the way they've developed has really come through, and I don't think, look, that first coupling in episode 1, usually it's all just physical appearance, isn't it? That's all it is. So it's not necessarily the case where they would have picked each other at the start and, might be a little bit further along now. I kind of like the fact that, this thing happened organically and it seems to work. Again, going to After Sun, I think Amber's not as happy about that. She's like, they could have waited till, our water bottles were out, kind of thing. But I think these two are head and shoulders above any other couple right now, I think.
Yeah, I agree, Dave. And now, Dave, I want to talk about something. We got, I got called out on Twitter about our approach. The incident where I've spilt the tea on Jack's dinner, and Remy and Afia had mentioned about the situation with Jax and said, he's basically, they were accusing him of being a bit of a bully and everything. And I got called out basically saying, well, you didn't go after him, which is a bit weird. But as I said on the show, I don't mind calling myself out, but on the show, we only got their side of the story. Not saying they're not wrong, because two people have said this now. It's not just one person. If you have a beef with someone, you're always going to go after them. So there could genuinely be a proper beef there. And if Jax has done all that, he's a cock. Do you know what I mean, Dave? At the moment, all we've seen on the edited show, he's been okay. And he's been fine. He's been one-liners. I've said he's funny, everything. So I'm standing by what I said, but also I can completely understand why someone would say that. But I just don't think at this present time, unless they edit this in and we start seeing this Jack, that people are saying that he's a bit of a control freak, bit of a bully, he's always going at people and all that, then I will happily say that he's a dickhead and everything else. But at this moment, we have no proof other than what they've said. So until we get his side of the story or we get the footage, what can we do? I don't understand where we can swing on that.
Look, we see it all the time in Love Island, don't we? Where we see a conversation and then two people go off in different directions and describe it and use different words to describe the same event, to spin it in their own way. So, I think remaining on the fence is all we could do at this point. Surely, until they both come out, or there's some kind of footage that is unseen or what have you. I don't know. I don't think we can call it right now. But
no, I thought we were quite.
What did you think to? Sorry, go on.
No, sorry. I thought we called it right. They were basically saying if it had been the other way around, we'd have gone at him, but I don't think we would have done. I just think we don't know, do we? Other than so, until we know, and then we will go at him. Then no problem.
Yeah. I agree. What do you reckon to Jax's whole kind of pouring his heart out, late at night? Did you buy that?
No, I thought that was a play for the cameras, Dave. I did. I don't believe that for a minute. I've not felt like this about anybody else and all that. I don't buy any of that shit, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think in that moment, I was bought in. I thought, he's letting himself down. But then I thought, oh, Christ, it is a little bit cliche and stuff. And I wonder what Gemma thinks about this, by the way. But I don't know. I feel like it was a bit playing up to the cameras, but also playing up to Paige as well, like excusing his standoffish behavior before. And, if she is spending a little bit more time with Jay, then, I'm not completely ruling it out, but I'm not buying it either.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think this might unravel this, Dave, because I think his cool cat approach with Jay wasn't what he was really thinking. I think he's just done it to try and look like the good guy, and he's backfired on him, if I'm being honest. If he's genuinely into it, I think he's dropped a bollock, to be honest.
No, I don't think there is anything there. I think what I find interesting is like the advice that Paige is getting to like go and explore other relationships and or make sure you give Jay more time. He has pictures, so you need to invest that time. I kind of think, why? If she's got all her eggs in the Jack's basket. Why bother with Jay? All right, he's picked her. So fucking what? It's Love Island. You know?
Yeah.
I just find that advice a little bit weird. But then it does throw a little bit of a spanner in the works. And she did have some decent conversations with Jay that made me think, oh, could something happen here? But no, I just think they'll probably end up back together after this week.
I do as well. Now, Dave, we've had 2 emails, so I'm going to quickly give a read of them. So we've had one from Neve, who's a message before, so welcome back, Neve. Hi, lads. Loving the episodes this season for Love Island UK. Just listen to the most recent episode and have some thoughts. I agree with you both that Tasha was in the wrong. I think the crux of why she's so wrong as opposed to the likes of Paige and Davide is twofold. Firstly, she made promises, declarations of intent to Andrew. Things like, if you were voted out, I'd leave with you, which is a big statement in there, as we know. Paige and Davide have always said they weren't settled, and that's why they get away with it. Secondly, I think Tasha is concerned with how she's being perceived. It's almost like she knows or thinks that people don't like her and Andrew since they were voted amongst the least popular and has decided it's Andrew's fault, but doesn't have the guts to end things with Andrew. Also, I love the way Charlie led Tasha to believe he was going to pick her, and she was safe to let Andrew know, and they then didn't. That's very true. Tasha clearly has the ick with Andrew when he was rubbing her face in bed, but needs him as a safety net until he has a concrete other option. Until she has a concrete other option. On the subject of Luca, he's the biggest agitator, shit stirrer in there and gets involved in everyone's situations. He seems to draw Damien to make him seem more credible, but he just can't help himself. He's given me major Curtis Pritchard vibes. Also, I'd love to hear your thoughts about the show has treated Danica. I think she's totally fucked over. She didn't get half the fanfare over her entrance that Antigone, what she's called, and Charlie got, and always ends up at the bottom of the pile. They seem to be making a bit of a fool of her, and I don't think it's fair. Anyway, lads, keep up the great work, Neve. So I thought that we never saw Danica at all, other than one. I think she did a little speech when they were having a drink, and that was it tonight.
Yeah, she's been totally cut out, hasn't she? She will be the next one out there,
100%.
Yeah, she's just getting no airtime at all. I think there was a girl last season, and I'm struggling to remember who it was, but I seem to remember that someone came in, and she had a choice of 2. And then she opted for someone who, and there was no chemistry there, but then there were 2 shit options. And then the next minute she was voted out. I think she wins the prize for the most fucked over in any season. I think with Danica, it's just unfortunate. She's chosen Luca. And Luca's, only got eyes for Gemma, and I'm going to come back to that one. But and then she's sort of tried to have these other conversations with the other guys, and she had that thing with Davide, and then he weirdly just didn't pick her after snogging her, just to stop the conversation. I think it was, when they had that kiss, but and then he picked Antigone, and it's just all a bit strange. So it is a bit shit for Danica, but I do think she is out there. But the thing I was going to say, Chris, so last night I kind of said that they only found out, these were his words, they only found out on day 2 or 3 who Gemma's dad was.
Ah, right. They never showed
it. They all know. They all know. And I think, this whole thing about, Luca and his influencer aspirations and whatever, it puts that doubt in my mind now. So the producers have definitely been keeping it from us, any kind of conversations about him. Maybe that's written into the contract, Chris.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, you're thinking, Luca being so possessive, is that really him, or is that, his career?
I think the career stuff, Dave, that make more sense. Why he's making sure he's got a safe bet there, hasn't he, with Gemma? Because she's going to get OK magazine deals and everything after this, definitely. Whatever happens, because of her dad, he'll and whoever she's with, she'll obviously have a good management people behind her. She's probably a couple of steps ahead of the people who are in there. They might think they got representation, but I'm sure that Michael Owen will have put her in the best places and stuff. So there's probably stuff in place, and it was fair enough. That's the way it works. You know what I mean? It's part of the show at the end of the day, isn't it? So, But Dave, I got another email from our friend Julie.
Yep.
She's put, "Hi guys. So first of all, thank you for reading out my email last time regarding watching The Circle. It made my day. Also, sorry for asking you to watch The Circle because it ended up being boredom central. I agree with that. Let's talk Love Island. I must say, after a few years of total damp squibs, this series has really been bringing it again. My thoughts are Jack and Paige don't believe a word he says. He's telling Paige what she wants to hear. He will make moves and cast her more. Luca and Gemma, she's completely shocked me by actually seeming like one of the most normal, balanced people in there. I like Luca, but he's after his meal ticket with her. I kind of revealed an after some, which you said tonight, that they knew about her dad after day 2. Also, can't quite work out why it's not being mentioned. Tasha and Andrew, she's absolutely messing with his head. I think he loves her and she's going along with it. She's turning her head in Casa 100%. Love Davide and Ekinsu. I think the reality radar is right with this one, Dave.
No.
Darth Vader, no. Anyway, thanks for your dedication with this. Enjoy listening to the Not Everyday podcast every day. Ha ha. Keep up the good work, Julie from Glasgow. Oh, class email again, Dave. Another great one.
That's brilliant. And it's like a cult following now, this radar thing.
I'm sure you'd want to put an N in the cult, Dave. But anyway, take that out. But there you go. So big thank you to everyone again, guys. We're going into the halfway stage of this week. So massive thank you. If you want to support us, get over to patreon.com/CD realitycast. If you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. And if you want to follow us on social media @CD realitycast. So today's roll call of honor is Kent Gustafson, Lucky Lily Green, Lauren Haley, Hennessy Susan, Priscilla, Hannah, Dee Dee, Katie, Libby, Helen, Joanna, Amy, Noreen, Brianna, Helen, Keith, Michelle, Gillian, Tom, Zoe, and Kristen. So welcome, Kristen. Welcome all our new Patreons. Thank you so much, guys. It's so nice. Get over to Kristen Day's Reality TV cast. We have well over 200 members now. Thank you to everyone who's joined. And I saw a nice post today, Dave, for welcoming all our new followers. So thank you, guys. Get involved in a conversation. We're all good, friendly people, and it's all brilliant. Just talk about reality TV.
Awesome. We're into. Is this the 4th week, Chris?
Yes.
I think it is, isn't it? So we must be coming up to Casa soon. Maybe it's a Friday tease or something. But it is going quite quickly this season, I have to say.
It is because it's good.
Yeah. We're not used to this. Awesome, mate. Well, thank you very much for that. And yeah, we'll speak to you tomorrow.
Bye.